guys, this is Young Neil from Advanced Property Strategies, and you're back again with another podcast session with myself and one of my superstar property clients. We got Maggie Smith here. Hey Maggie, how you going?
Hi Young, I'm good, thank you.
Excellent. Well, thanks for giving up your time today and sharing what you've been up to. So I know it's a little bit wet here in town, but yeah, we're trucking on and still hunting for deals, aren't we?
We certainly are. Yeah, it's a great opportunity to, when you're stuck in the house, to just get focused and keep going.
Exactly. So you've been with me as a diamond mentoring program, I think, for 3 or 4 years now, and I know before that you're doing a bit of buy and hold. So do you want to just share with us your transition from the buy and hold and why you sold down a few of your buy and hold properties, maybe because they worked, maybe because they didn't work, and you're doing definitely a lot more development. So share with us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so I guess we held about 5 buy and holds randomly all over the place, and they just weren't working. They weren't generating money quick enough. So we've held a few for a couple of years, some for 6 or 7 years, and just decided after doing your program to sell down and get the money out to do developments. Just because it was, I could see I guess because I did the program and got my first development within a first couple of months. And made more in that development than I had, in the buy and hold. So yeah, just sold out and and just to give me cash to do more developments.
Yeah, good stuff. And that's the thing. I know that buy and hold can work. From your point of view, let's just look at buy and holds and why they didn't work for specific reasons, right? So everybody has different portfolios and different reasons for selling down, or different reasons that buy and hold didn't work. But from your point of view, why do you think that the buy and holds didn't work for you?
We had a few negative buy and holds because we were earning good money, so we thought it would help with our tax. But yeah, you just they need to grow. I mean, some of them were really well located, but they just need to grow so much. And I guess my idea was that they'd grow year on year, not they'd sit around for 5 years and then grow, a good spurt, and then then they might grow. So from a buy and hold for us, we just felt like we were always paying money to them, and they were controlling what we did basically. So yeah, that's why we sold out. We just didn't want to wait any longer really, and we were maxed out in what we could hold because there's only so much you can borrow. So yeah, that's really the reason.
Yeah, that's right. And look, I believe no, that's all right. Look, I put you on the spot pretty much. No preparation, just get into it, right? So I like the raw response. So the thing about buy and hold, as I probably mentioned on a few of my other recordings, is that buy and hold can be very limiting. Don't get me wrong, I do buy and hold, and I think it's part of a portfolio, but it's not the only part of the portfolio, especially after you get $1 million, 2 million worth of debt on a PAYG income of combined income 120, 150, you can max out very, very quickly. And then it really constrains you and limits you on what else you can do. You are stuck in your job as well to feed those negatively geared properties. They talk about in theory that the properties go in value, you refinance, use that equity to feed the other ones. But if you think about it, every time you refinance, you're getting more debt and using debt to pay debt. That's not a really good philosophy. If you think about the big public companies, Mirvac, Australand, FKP, some of the really big companies, REITs, real estate investment trusts there, they don't do negative gearing. Yeah, they do use depreciation. However, they need to have positive cash flow to keep feeding the mouths, right? So I do believe that, yeah, buy and hold is important. However, on the average mum and dad who's earning less than 150K combined, yeah, you will get maxed out. So, but having said that, you and I, Maggie, we live a different lifestyle to most people, where we're active in the marketplace, looking for new deals, doing new deals, consuming new deals. So do you want to just share with people the last 12 months on your journey? You did a really cool 2 into 2 splitter. which was yeah, quite lucrative. A free block of land play, as I like to say, and you made a tidy profit of around about 200K in a period of less than 6 months. So for most people, that seems a bit, you know, bit outrageous, a bit out there. Maybe they call you fake or unreal, you know. But for yourself, you experienced it. You were able to put it together. Got some investors on board. So yeah, share with us your journey on that last 12 months or so.
Yeah, so yeah, it was 1,000 square metre block with a character Queenslander sat right in the middle in a great street, in a great location. So the minute I saw it, I knew there was money in there. I just didn't know what I was going to do with it. It was LMR, so it was zoned for townhouses or units. But there was character in the street. So there was a few houses. There were townhouses next door to it. But just the location, I went with the easy option, which was
the simple option, yes.
The simple option, through your guidance, of course, to not overcomplicate things. So I ended up moving the house, which, you know, was quite daunting, but it's just a process. So because Queenslanders are on stumps, I moved it 6 metres to the left, and it sat perfectly on one of the lots. So one lot was bigger than the other, so it freed up the block of land. So yeah, lifted it, moved it, lifted it 3 metres, and gave the buyer the opportunity to either build in underneath and make it a unit. So there would be a 3-bed, 2-bath unit upstairs, and they could build a unit downstairs, or make it a big family home, which is, I had plans for a 5-bed, 3-bath, or the unit play. So giving just the buyer the opportunity to also make money really helped in that scenario. And yeah, renovated the house, and then it was just a case of going to titles office and getting the title split. Then of course there was a building approval to move the block, but it was pretty straightforward. So very daunting at the beginning, but quite a straightforward process of putting in services and renovating the house and lifting it, and leaving, you know, a lot of the work, the building work, to, you know, the next person, and giving them that potential. So
yeah, I love how you're saying the services was simple when it was 5 meters deep. People didn't get to see the real story, right? We all tell the polished version.
I mean, you know, that was the simple view of it. The big challenge was the sewer, because it was 6 meters deep. You know, I guess with developments, there's always something different on site that you have to deal with. You know, with every development different, but that one was completely flat, had no trees, had nothing on it, you know, other than a very deep sewer line. You know, there was some challenges dealing with the tradies doing the renovation, and, you know, and the house move, but, you know, it was relatively straightforward. And I can say that, I guess, because I've finished it now.
That's right.
You know, the 3 months, I guess, I was actively in it, because I bought it in the January and it sold in the May. So it's in the June. It's 5 months end to end. So, yeah, it was tough going in a way in those 3 months that I was really actively doing it, but you know, no different to any other site, and a great profit, like you say, 100 grand. So
that's right. So beautiful. So let's talk about a couple of ways you could have done the deals, or that particular deal, and the reasons why you chose not to go down that path. So I think a couple of scenarios you're mentioning before is potentially building those townhouses. So do you regret not building those townhouses? Because at the beginning, I remember our conversation where you're pretty gung-ho on that. Let's go do 6 townhouses. Let's go and make a whole stack of cash. But luckily, I was able to talk you out of that, but maybe you talk yourself out of it yourself. So do you regret not doing that? And what do you see was the insight that either you and I had together that you can see now that you may have not seen before?
Yeah, so I guess the site could have been keep the house and build 3 more townhouses, but they would have been big luxury townhouses. Keep the house, and then on the free block of land build a duplex. So, and I went through the DA process for that, because, like I say, I wanted to do more than just do it as a splitter and exit quickly. What I soon realised after our chat, and even just the reality of it is, and now you said, do I have any regrets? I've got no regrets at all, because you know, I would have been still in the deal. You know, the townhouse market in that suburb was, you know, the guy next door who'd finished just as I was starting, he's still selling those townhouses. So,
yeah, that's right.
you know, I might have looked on paper that I was going to make a lot more money, but in reality, it could have gone, I could have made the same amount of money as I did in the 2 months, but take 2 years and cause me a lot of, you know, stress. And the DA duplex, you know, I learned a lot doing that process, because, you know, because I've not gone through that process. And, you know, I ended up selling the land, because I was going to keep on as a buy and hold, but I would have ended up selling the land because I got such a great price for it. Again, looking back, it was such, you know, it was just the right move for that block of dirt, and also for the timing in the market, and just keeping it simple so I can go again.
Yeah. That's
you mentioned investors as well. I used investors on that deal. So, you know, my strategy was to just get in and get out and pay them out. So, you know, I was glad I stuck to my word, and, you know, and I'm not living in any regret, because, yeah, it was just a cracking deal. And, it freed me up to, I guess, move forward and look for better deals that won't take too long and cause me lots of stress building, wondering what the market's going to do.
Yeah, exactly. And look, the only reason, a few of the reasons I've had that insight is because I've been in multiple deals where it's taken me an extra 1 to 2 years to exit from them because of various complications, right? So I definitely think a site like that, it had heaps of options where you could subdivide further, 1,000 square meters. You could use a splitter, you could remove the house, you could build another house or two, you could do townhouses, you could not remove the house and do 5 townhouses, hypothetically. Whether the council approve or not is another story. But yeah, it's just looking at the reality of it. Like you said before, the reality of it, one thing you didn't mention is also finance. Like, to get the finance for those townhouses would be expensive and difficult as well. So, you know, at the moment with my subdivision, I'm able to get finance for the 30 lots or so. It's only 50%, so 50% LVR. Lucky my deal's got a lot of fat in it to be able to make that worthwhile. Most people, if you do a 50% LVR play, they don't have the cash or the wherewithal to be able to do a deal with that much cash required into it, right? So and yeah, so in terms of holding, like you said, you sold down that vacant lot because previously you had intentions, and you did lodge that DA for that duplex on that vacant lot as well, to potentially build that duplex and keep one. So do you have any regrets of not being able to do that and having to sell the block of land in the end?
No, not at all, because looking back now, I think it would have constrained us holding a townhouse. You know, we'd have kept the profit in it, and it would have been, in a way, quite positive. But it's still just you know, an average. You know, it was just a townhouse. There was nothing special about it. So yeah, I probably would have ended up, you know, redrawing, and, you know, I'd be back in the buy and hold kind of situation as I was. You know, it was probably never going to grow. So no, I'm quite pleased I moved on and to better things.
That's it. And look, in terms of keeping stuff, I often say to my clients, if you're going to keep something, it either has to be special, it has to grow, or it has to have a really high cash flow yield, you know, 8, 10, 12% cash flow yield to make it worthwhile if it's not going to grow. So yeah, you got to experiment and try different things. And you do realize that some properties, while they're fresh and while they're brand new and while someone wants them, you're better off just giving it up and getting your cash back, because selling, you get the equity back, you get your profit out, and you clear that debt as well. People don't value their debt or their serviceability as much as they should. I think that's what I learned in the GFC, is having the serviceability And when you don't have cash and you don't have serviceability ready to go, you can be quite constrained. So, so Maggie, just to round it off, I've got a couple of questions for, what tips you have for beginners. I know there's a lot of people that might speak to you for the first time and go, wow, she's done half a dozen deals or 4 deals and left her job and done very, very successfully in property. But there's a lot of beginners out there, just like you and I were when we started out. So do you have 2 or 3 tips that you could give to beginners who are starting out, who feel a bit overwhelmed? Maybe they're jumping into the marketplace and they can't find any deals. What's your take on this?
I guess believe in yourself. You have to believe that there are deals out there and you're going to get a deal. That was certainly what was there for me. I was, the minute I heard about, development after doing your course, because I did your course to learn about renovation, but the minute I heard about development, I wanted it and I was hungry for it. So just be really, know why you want to do it and just be really focused. Become an area expert, as no one always says. And I guess from a new point of view, just surround yourself with like-minded people, get educated, and make sure you've got the right people to go and ask the questions, because every site is different, and even a simple splitter, my very first splitter, wasn't as simple as I thought it was going to be.
Yes.
So yeah, surround yourself with like-minded people, and just really believe in yourself and be focused, and just go for it. Keep it simple, and keep it simple, and just don't, I guess what I've learned in the last few is, don't overcomplicate things. If you can get out quickly, then that's what you should do. Like, I renovated a house, and I probably unrenovated it, probably would have, I didn't probably make any money, so I was a bit attached to that deal. I wanted the deal to go on for longer, so yeah, just keep it as a business and pure on the. Don't get emotional at all. Just exit as quickly as possible, so you can get your money back out and go again.
Yeah, and it's easier to say and hard to do, right? It's one of those things you got to learn for yourself, of keeping it unemotional. Like you said before, is that you want the deal to go longer, and it's kind of like an indulgence. It's like going to a buffet restaurant. You just want to keep eating and eating that dessert and that ice cream, but you realize, what, you're full and you've got to digest at some stage. Excuse me. So, like, even my 30-lot subdivision, I'm sharing with people at the moment. It's taken me 2 years to get to the point. 2 years to get to the point where we're coming out of the ground, and should be done in another 12 months or so. That's a total of 3 years. I didn't plan to be in it that long. We had a potential exit 1.5 years into it. It just wasn't enough money, and we don't regret where we're going with it. I'm really, really excited about finishing it off. But yeah, you are right. It's about the velocity of money. Get in, get out, get paid, so that you get on to the next deal. And not only that, you want to move on with your life. Things are exciting, but only exciting for so long, and then you want to get into a new project, right? So
you get bored very quickly.
That's right, and that's the nature of developers. We create things. We want new things, and finding that next deal, the hunt, the thrill of the hunt, right? So I'm getting excited about my next acquisition, building that up and building up the team for that at the moment, and I'm sure you are too. So in closing then, do you want to just share with people what your vision is over the next 6 to 12 months on your next acquisitions? What are you looking at doing, and what does the future hold for Maggie Smith, the unemployable property developer?
So I've just secured a block, which will be my first, I guess, buy and hold, which will be around the 10% yield when I build it. So I'm excited for that. That can create a block of land, well under market value, so that I can build and hold, and it'll be really good return. I've started to look at bigger deals, and just getting more investors involved, and expanding and growing, because you need to grow. So
yeah, that's right.
yeah.
Very good. Look, thanks, Maggie. I appreciate your time. Yeah, we're going to finish up there. Thanks again for your generosity. And yeah, thanks, listeners, for tuning into this podcast. We'll catch you on another episode, maybe down the track. Once Maggie's done a handful more deals, we'll get her back for another interview, hey? So thanks again, Maggie. Catch you next time.
Thanks a lot. Bye.